But P wore that crown. With Jay in the mix, with Nas in the mix, with DMX in the mix, P wore that crown.
Hey, yo, Eeze.
Yo, what's the deal, fam? It's your man Eeze, top of the morning. Morning walk, morning coffee. Hope you all are doing well out there. Before we even get started, smash that like button if you support the channel. What we talking about today? Yesterday, I did a poll asking you, what was the better Alchemist instrumental? Prodigy's Keep It Thoro or Jadakiss's We Gonna Make It? Right now, Keep It Thoro is up. I think it's 59-41 if I'm not mistaken. Those are the percentage points. And I was reading some of the comments, and you know me, I'm into education, you know, gotta reel people in sometimes. And although Prodigy is winning the poll, some people stated he's only winning because, you know, he's no longer with us. Check this out. If we are having a discussion about who had the better prime or who is the better rapper in their prime, I'm taking Prodigy over Jadakiss any day. And I know some of you are gonna think of this in a vacuum and, you know, try to act as if I'm saying something that's outlandish. But if we go by the metrics, the things y'all love to talk about, classic albums and influence and impact, Prodigy has that. He checks all boxes. The only thing Jadakiss has over him, if we really being, or speaking frank, is the Verzuz. Prodigy has a classic album, solo and with the group. Am I lying? Am I lying? Prodigy, for my New Yorkers, I love everybody, so we all involved in this conversation, but if you lived in a city, you know that wearing a crown is something that people talk about a lot as far as discussions go within hip-hop. Good morning, how you doing? Prodigy wore the crown. It may have been brief, but he did. I don't remember Jadakiss wearing the crown. I'm just being honest. Around 99, 2000, that was Prodigy's. That was Prodigy's crown to wear. So why do we act as if Prodigy wasn't that guy? It's almost as if people intentionally forget his contributions to the game. He's been sampled an array of different times. Goes to show you how impactful his lines were. Jadakiss may have been a better rapper in the sense, longevity-wise. But even the whole notion that Jadakiss never wrote a whack verse, which I can agree with, I'm willing to put Apostles' Warning, Peace Performance, Last Song on Hell on Earth up against anything Jadakiss has released. As far as rapping goes, and we ain't even getting into the Hell on Earth, Legendary Verse, or Shook Ones, Part 2. Sometimes we gotta be reminded, P was that guy. He was fearless. Y'all love to talk about picking bad beats and all. He didn't do that. He understood the importance of synergy, working with the producer, putting together fire projects. We're not gonna do that. And it's not everyone, based on the poll, which is based on Alchemist's work, has nothing to do with Prodigy and Jadakiss. I asked what was the better instrumental, and P is winning. And I happen to agree with that from a production standpoint because the originality. We're gonna make it, although it's infectious, it's fire, love it, it's a loop when you find the OG sample. Keep It Thoro, even though it's piano stabs, it was chopped up like a 2-bar loop, but he added different components on top, like the Millie Jackson sample, like simple things. And I can remember when that came out, you can feel the shift in hip hop. That was his first single. And shout out to my man Adriel Green, because we always point to that as his first single on H&IC, which it is. But it was initially released on the Backstage soundtrack. So back to my original point, P is that guy. And we gotta stop the nonsense. And I'm here to speak about these things. And I love Jadakiss too. Don't ever get it twisted. I remember working in Radio Shack, 5 towns, on the dollar van with the CD player, bumping Kiss the Game Goodbye on my way to Mott Ave. I remember those days. I've been a hip hop supporter for a long time, but at the same time, what P did, what P continues to do, P made hip hop soul music, timeless music. He got the classic verses. He got the solo classic album. He got the group classic album. He got singles that rang off in the club that wasn't necessarily meant to be commercial. Think about it. Knock Yourself Out was Jada's first single. Keep It Thoro was P's. I love Jadakiss, great rapper, but if we talking prime for prime, some of y'all gotta put or remember how great P truly was. In their primes, he's a better rapper than Jadakiss. And I'm willing to have this discussion with anyone. P held his own on tracks with Nas, sometimes even getting the better of Nas. Self-conscious? Some people feel P's verse on TikTok more than Nas. I don't, but I can understand it. Yes, P had his moments when he not fell off, but they will say fall off. Individuals won't think I'm trying to be biased. But when we talking about that pocket in his prime, putting out good music, quality music, overall better rapper in their prime, I'm taking Prodigy over Jadakiss. And I'm not asking you to agree with me, but if you're going to disagree, provide some evidence. Because a lot of this stuff goes back to the point I was trying to make about 2 weeks ago when I was stating how likability plays a huge role in what we attempt to put forth or the things we try to revise. Jadakiss is such a liked figure, and he's outside, quote unquote. He does features with the younger generation. You can catch him on Instagram or social media working out on 125th uptown with dudes from around the way. He has that charisma, it's charismatic. He brings unity into a room. But we're talking about rapping. I ain't talking about who you like, whose personality is shining, whose charisma is something you gravitate towards. I'm talking about prime. In their primes, Prodigy was the better rapper than Jadakiss. I'll go down the list once again. This is 3 things I mentioned. The solo album, better. H&IC, for some, I think it's a classic. If you don't believe that, that's cool. But I'm willing to bet that you can't disagree that it's better than Kiss the Game Goodbye. Group solo albums, the infamous is better than any Lox album. Hell on Earth is better than any Lox album. Murder Music is better than any Lox album. And you gotta count group albums. Why? First of all, because he checked that box. He has a solo album for all the Andre 3 Stack fans that's gonna come in the comment section. And secondly, in hip hop, when we talking about a group, when we talking about 8 or 9 people, where you get 3 verses on the whole album, he's performing on every track. Literally. And he had an impeccable ear. You hear the stories, how he putting things together, taking on the role like an A&R. Listen, man, y'all gonna learn to respect P, or heighten the respect, or, be reminded, because Prodigy was that guy. And I'm speaking to my fellow New Yorkers right now. Once again, this is all inclusive. Everybody's welcome, we family. But P wore that crown. Around the 99, 2000, he wore the crown. With Jay in the mix, with Nas in the mix, with DMX in the mix. P wore that crown. Can we say the same thing about Jadakiss? Kiss is that guy. I love Kiss. And before y'all come in here talking about, yo, we can't be comparing the legends. Listen, this is what we always used to do. On the stoop, shout out to Hip Hop Talk Stoop Stories. In school, in the barbershop, in the park when you got next waiting your turn, get your squad together. It's the things we talk about. Everything is competitive. I'm not bashing them or putting them against each other in a negative sense, but it's hip hop, right? Everybody want to be the best, so competition has to be in play if you're vying for a #1 spot. And I'm gonna say it one last time. Prodigy had the better prime than Jadakiss. And it's not even close. Let me know what you think in the comment section. About to pick up the pace in this walk. Feeling like some nice brisk fall weather, best time of the year. Remember, you can achieve anything in this world through sheer hard work and patience. God is the greatest. It's your man Eeze at the Eeze Experience. I appreciate y'all out there. Go get your share.
Hey, yo, Eeze.